Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how I make my journals. And before I get into that, I actually want to make you aware of a giveaway that I'm doing. I have a Facebook group that I will link down below with 2 simple instructions. Then you'll be entered to win this journal. And as for today, I'm going to show you step by step how I design this cover. I already did the landscape ahead of time. I can show you in a separate video how I do that, but there's plenty of steps just in the handwriting that I think a dedicated video was necessary for that. So first I'm pulling out my little sketchbook. I travel with this and I just basically sketch out my designs so that I have kind of like a template to follow while I'm designing the cover, just to eliminate some chances for mistakes. So on the darker backgrounds, I use this chalk pencil as opposed to a regular pencil. I'm actually going to use both. So I'm just showing you if you do very light strokes, then it's easy to erase. So I really like these Sharpie markers. They're oil based. I love them for bigger journals like this. And the Posca markers, I have 2, black and white. They are perfect for more detailed lettering. I'm going to use both in today's video as well. And then I have this Molotow marker. It's a really cool shiny chrome that does really well for accents. I tend to reach for the Sharpie over the other brands, at least for now, but that's the materials that I will be using in today's video. I'm going to begin to map out the lettering very lightly. I'm basically just mapping out the placement of the lettering. As you can see, I kind of erased what I had written first and I'm moving it over to the left a little bit just to make sure everything is centered. That's the main purpose I use for the chalk pencil, not so much the style. That's why I have my template to the left that I can look at. Okay, so the reason I'm not mapping out the whole page initially is because I noticed that my arm or my hand while I'm writing, it can erase some of the chalk. So I'm just doing one line at a time. And then I'm having a little bit of trouble getting the paint out of this Sharpie because I've been using it for such a long time. I have a 3-pack that I just ordered from Amazon, so I'm going to switch to a new one soon. I will link all the supplies down below, by the way. I got most of it off of Amazon, so check that out if you're interested. So if there's any gaps in the paint, which there were for me, then I just go over it with dabbing motions rather than sweeping motions because it helps to build up the paint in those areas. With the Sharpie markers, I notice it's a lot easier to fix mistakes because it is a thicker tip. I also notice it's a lot easier to draw straight lines with this as opposed to something like the Posca markers. Okay, moving on to the second line. Once again, I'm mapping it out, just erasing what I don't like. It's super easy to do that. I noticed when I first started using the chalk pencils, there was like a bit of residue that kind of hung around, and you don't get that if you're doing it the way that I'm doing. So I'm using the Posca marker since, as you can see, it's a lot more fine lettering. I like mixing fonts like that. And then as you all know, with calligraphy or brush lettering, you want to thicken the downstrokes. I have a whole video dedicated to how I learned how to do brush lettering and some tips that I have to make it easy for you guys. So I'll link that down below as well, or you can find my playlist, and hopefully that will help all you beginners out there who want to learn how to do this. But just always remember to embrace your personal style and just keep practicing, because I promise you'll get better, and you want it to be a fun experience so that you keep up with it. So as you can see, I'm switching to the pencil here because it's a light background and the chalk pencil won't show up well. So the pencil works the same way. You can use the eraser, just erase very lightly and then do light strokes. It shows up fine with light strokes, and then you can also go back and either wipe away the parts that are still showing, or you can go in with a small eraser. So stay tuned, because I know that the white doesn't show up quite as well, but we're going to go back in with a pen in a little bit just to make it pop a little bit more and stand out so you can read it a little bit easier. The reason I'm going over these letters so much with this Posca marker is because, like I said, it's a little bit difficult to get straight lines with this one. However, I noticed that the paint flows a lot easier out of these as opposed to the Sharpies. So it just boils down to preference for you. I would recommend both brands for anybody who's starting out or experienced. I think they're both really good, and they're not too pricey. I believe they're about $6 a piece, but they last a long time. I've been using the same one since I've started doing it. And then I'm going in with my copper colored Sharpie, and I'm just drawing a couple of stars around Darling just to make it look a little bit more symmetrical. And then I'm actually taking out my gold Jelly Roll pen and my Pigma Micron pen, and I'm going to start out on the top with my Jelly Roll pen, and I'm going to add some highlights. Basically, I'm going over all the downstrokes to the left of the letter, and I'm just drawing lines with this Jelly Roll pen. It does give a really pretty metallic look to it. I'll link these down below as well with everything else, but I really like these pens for just adding some subtle touches. And then once I'm done with that top line, I'm going to go in with my Pigma Micron pen, and I'm going to do the same thing to that last line. So I'm going to show you a close-up just so you can see everything. Just going back to the giveaway journal for a second, I just want to remind you guys, don't forget to click the link down below and enter in the giveaway. And let me know what other videos you guys would like to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.